welcome back to the nationally syndicated Price of Business show. I'm your host, Kevin Price, talking to you about you and your business. And you know, any long-term listener to the show knows about my concerns when it comes to the security space, particularly cybersecurity space. And we have our own resident expert, Jason Rorie, who joins us, really keeping us on track and keeping us informed and bringing great guests to bring light on this important subject, which is dynamic and changing constantly. Jason, always love having you on. Jason Rorie, real quickly, a little bit of information about your company and website.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. My name is Jason Rorie, founder and CEO of Triad InfoSec. We are a cybersecurity advisory company focused around the governance, risk management, and compliance side of cybersecurity, and can definitely visit our website for more detail, and that's www.triadinfosec.io.
And while you're at it, go right ahead and introduce your guest today.
Yeah. With us, I'm pleased to bring on the show Jason Thatcher with Breacher.ai. We've been partnered for a long time. Great human being. They're doing some really great stuff in the cybersecurity world around advanced awareness training focused on deepfake video technologies, voice cloning, and all things manipulative to human beings. That's vastly important today. So I'm glad he's able to join us today and bring and shed some light, on these more advanced manipulation techniques.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Jason, welcome to the program. A little bit about your company real quick.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's awesome to be here. My name is Jason Thatcher. I'm the founder of Breacher.ai. And we are the only company today that does combined deepfake attack simulations with user awareness training. So it's some pretty next level and a next-gen approach to helping organizations be prepared for emerging AI threats and deepfake.
Awesome. Jason, go ahead with your first question. Jason Rorie.
Oh, yeah. I just wanted, the first question, I guess, to Jason, is, I guess, let the listeners know a little bit about what deepfake technology is and how bad actors are using it in manipulative ways.
Yeah, that's a great question. So deepfake in a nutshell can be a couple of different things. It can be audio, it can be video, it can be images, or even documents. There's many different aspects of what deepfake can be. But in a nutshell, it's basically using generative AI to take an image or a document and then fabricate it or manipulate it into something that it's not. And the danger today is this technology is this rapidly mature to the point where it's almost near indistinguishable between real and fake. And that poses a real challenge to businesses and organizations and users to be able to discern what they're being told is actually true or fake. And what we're seeing is that bad actors are basically using deepfakes to manipulate and social engineer users and gain anything from sensitive data to financial transactions. So it's a major threat just at a high level. And that's where we specialize. That's our focus, is basically how do we help organizations prepare and how do we help users to respond to these deepfake threats as they occur.
Yeah, and maybe the worst actors are in politics. I see now all these commercials, and I'm like, did he actually say that? And sure enough, later, no, he didn't say that, or she didn't say that. I mean, it's really quite bizarre. And when I hear you talk about this, Jason, to me, it really reminds me of how it becomes more and more a game of cat and mouse, doesn't it? I mean, it continuously escalates, and you really have to have a business that focuses almost entirely on this. This is not for a jack of all trades.
That's correct. Yeah, it's a very kind of rapidly maturing threat. And it is misinformation, right? It can be political. It can be many different things. The thing that we're seeing the most currently in the landscape is actually audio, is that businesses especially are being tricked with deepfake audio. And people are actually taking people's voices and stealing them and then using generative AI to make perfect deepfakes to social engineer and trick people. So it's a very broad threat, and it's very diverse, but it impacts users and businesses in many different ways. So something to watch for sure.
Jason, Rorie, your question?
Comment on that. I mean, it's to Jason's point, and I've seen and read stories where it only takes a quick couple-minute video on LinkedIn to grab the voice or grab the video and recreate that into this deepfake technology, and then used to really social engineer even IT departments for clients. I read a story the other day that this bad actor just did that. He went to LinkedIn, grabbed the CEO's voice and video from a LinkedIn post, was able to recreate that, called into the company, and the IT department believed it was him because it sounded just like him over the phone. He requested a password change. The IT department didn't really think anything above it because it sounds just like the CEO. The CEO is requesting a password change, so we're going to do it, and reset the password and handed the bad actor the CEO's credentials right there over the phone.
Wow.
Just because of voice cloning technology.
Wow, that's incredible. Jason Thatcher, talk a little bit about that. That is a really interesting comment. How ubiquitous is this becoming?
It's becoming much more common. I've looked at data and stats, and globally last year, 3,000% increase for deepfake fraud across the globe, which is insane. And recent studies are suggesting that about 50% of businesses have been impacted by deepfake. And in my mind, it's not a matter of if, but when is this going to impact an organization. And the other Jason's kind of hit it on the head. It's audio is what you really need to be focusing on and worried about. It's today, just a few seconds of audio, you can make crystal clear, perfect deepfake of someone's voice. And it's always the voice or the audio which is tricking people into performing an action. So the guidance that I give is be cautious to what you're hearing, and it's less so what you're seeing. It's basically social engineering is tricking the audio users to perform actions and do tasks. We do the same thing. We do pen testing using deepfake audio against organizations, and we found basically organizations are susceptible more often to deepfake audio than any other medium so far.
Wow. Jason, Rorie, your question or comment?
Yeah. No, a comment on that is I think the reason that the voice cloning is so successful for these bad actors is not that email phishing is dying out. It still happens, every day. Organizations still have to deal with it. It's getting more sophisticated, obviously, with the use of AI. But since email phishing has been around for so long, a lot of IT departments, cybersecurity professionals have developed ways to, not only educate, user bases on how to see the red flags in the email, see that it's spam, see that it's phishing, report it, block it. So it is getting a little bit harder for the bad guys to get in. So as soon as something becomes challenging for these guys, they pivot to something else. So as you're so focused on your email inbox and making sure that the emails that are coming in are legitimate, you may not necessarily pay so much attention to whose voice is on the other end of the phone when you pick it up, or the video that you see online. And that's why you're seeing these staggering statistics on these deepfake videos and voice. I mean, a 3,000% increase, last year across the globe, as Jason mentioned, it's just unfathomable. But it's working because it's a new avenue to manipulate human beings. And as I always say, it's a lot easier to manipulate a human than it is a computer system. And when one avenue is not as successful as it used to be, you'll find another way.
Yeah, very good point. Jason Rorie and Jason Thatcher are my guests today. Jason Thatcher, real quickly, give your website in because I want to make sure we get that in one more time.
Yeah, I'm sorry. My website, breacher.ai. Yep, Breacher.ai. We specialize in user awareness training. October is User Awareness Training Month, and we do micro-curriculums using deepfakes and adversary simulation using deepfake audio, video, to help users basically address this next generation threat. So check us out. We're happy to demo and help, and stay secure.
Jason, yeah, it's very good. Jason Rorie, I got to tell you, I really am impressed with this interview, both with your guests and this topic, because, you know, you have a very, very specific focus on cybersecurity and data protection. You know the list of things you do. You know, but a lot of people don't think about this dimension. You adding this to things that your firm is concerned about and aware of, I think is really important to anyone that does business with you. Final question from Jason Rorie to you, Jason Thatcher, as we wrap it up.
Yeah, I guess my final question to you, Jason, would be, what do you see in the future? You know, I know 3,000% growth last year. Do you see this kind of maintaining that level of growth? I mean, obviously there might tail off a little bit, but, you know, just a forecast on the future of bad actors using this type of technology for the manipulative purposes, and how long are we going to have to deal with this, and just kind of what do you see, you know, looking out 1 year, 3 years, 5 years?
Yeah, it's a great question. So I think deepfake is the next iteration of phishing, and I think you absolutely nailed it, right? As an adversary hits a challenge through the email inbox, the fact is that we're getting really good at blocking phishing emails. Naturally, when an adversary hits a challenge or a barrier, they're going to pivot and try a different tactic. And so far, deepfake has proven to be successful in frauds and scams. And I think that adversaries are going to continue to leverage this technology. And I don't think it's a solvable problem. I think we're going to be stuck with it as a long-term deal, just like standard phishing. And I think we're on the cusp. I think we're going to see an increase in these types of attacks. And I don't think it's going anywhere anytime soon. So it's something that you definitely need to be proactive about and get ahead and start working on solving today versus tomorrow.
Absolutely. 100% agree.
Very good. Yeah, it's just going to continue to escalate. There is no panacea. And so, very good. Final thoughts, Jason Rorie, as we wrap it up and give your website one more time. A great interview. I compliment you for a great guest and a great interview.
I appreciate it, Kevin. Yeah, just to wrap up, security awareness training is the utmost important thing you can do in any organization. Is educate on all things social engineering, emails, voice, videos, social media, you know, all these different avenues these bad actors are taking, either to do, you know, recon work, just to gather intelligence and build a more targeted campaign to, say, the C-level and the other executives in the organization. So that is the key thing, without doing security awareness training and keeping up on the trends. And that's why Jason and I have such a beautiful partnership, as he can, you know, help us facilitate this training to our clients, because it is the utmost important thing. You know, without it, all the money spent, all the time spent on all the technology could just go out the window with a simple click of the mouse.
Yeah, very sobering point to end on. Jason Rorie, he's with Triad InfoSec, and that's Triad, just like it sounds, Triad Info, I-N-F-O, Sec, SCC.io. And Jason Thatcher, thanks again, Breacher.ai. I am Kevin Price, and this is the nationally syndicated Price of Business show. And I want to encourage the listener to remember this show continues 24/7, where we're always adding new audio, video, and articles at priceofbusiness.com. Stay tuned for more after this.